Nelson. I'm the Chief Communications Officer here at Foxcroft Academy, and I'd like to welcome you to Foxcroft Academy on behalf of our Board of Trustees, our administration, our faculty, staff, and students. Thank you for being here today. We celebrate another beginning in our Building on Tradition Capital campaign with a special groundbreaking event of the Jim Robinson Fieldhouse here at Foxcroft Academy. This project has been years in the making, but with the help of several major benefactors, many gifts from supportive alumni and friends, and the work of many people behind the scenes, this project is finally coming to fruition. Today we celebrate the start of this physical building that will become home to current and future pony athletic teams, and a building our town and community will use and be proud of for years to come. Since our initial opening of the building to my left here on West Main Street in Dover Foxcroft in 1952, Foxcroft Academy has had several significant improvements to our campus. In 1961, we had the addition of our current gymnasium and lobby space. In 1974, we added our industrial technology buildings. In 1989, the English and music wing came to fruition. And as we entered a new millennium in 2000, FA grew with it with a major refurbishment project of the interior and exterior of the school with new locker rooms, classroom space, and renovated athletic fields. In 2004, we added our first dormitory, which is behind us, Hurd Hall, and in 2012, we added our second dormitory, the Lodge. Today, we grow again with the addition of the Jim Robinson Fieldhouse to our campus, and it's a really good day to be a pony. Following our program today, we'll take several pictures up on the work site with special groups that have made the Jim Robinson Fieldhouse possible. These photos will be available on our website in the coming days. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our head of school at Foxcroft Academy, Mr. Arnold Shorey.
Can you guys hear me over there? Okay, we decided to use our coaching voice instead of a microphone. So, good afternoon and thank you so much for being here as we celebrate a historic day in Foxcroft Academy's 198-year history. We're breaking ground for the Jim Robinson Fieldhouse. Today is a result of the Building on Tradition Capital Campaign, a 3-year endeavor that survived the pandemic. And it was started by the desire to create necessary space to support Foxcroft Academy athletics. It was initially planned as a gym addition to better support wrestling, cheering, and indoor track. The impetus of transformation from a gym addition to the Fieldhouse started with meeting and developing a relationship with the LIBRA Foundation, who gave the lead gift that launched Building on Tradition. The LIBRA Foundation has accomplished incredible things for Piscataquis County, revitalizing downtown Monson, building and supporting the Piscataquis County Ice Arena, which I am a star curler if you didn't know that, and supporting this 81,000 square foot facility. They did not desire a naming opportunity. Their only wishes were that the facility was shared with the community and that we incorporate artificial turf. We are forever grateful. This facility will support the originally intended activities and house a regulation-sized field hockey soccer field, an indoor practice track supporting baseball and softball, community wellness activities, and much more. It's my pleasure to introduce Craig DENEKAS, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the LIBRA Foundation, who would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Shorey. It's a pleasure to be here, and congratulations to you all on this accomplishment. Obviously, ground is already broken, but Arnold, I think your board has talked about mission creep, because this is more than an expanded gym, I think. But in all seriousness, it's really been such a pleasure to work with you all on both of these projects, the ice arena and this field house. I do think it's listening to those dates, going back to the 50s and 60s, through the 2000s, and then today, you realize today really is a day. It's another turning point, we hope, for all the work you do. A facility like you're building here is so much more than just a place to play field hockey or soccer or whatever it may be. It really is something that adds such a dimension to the community. It helps people who want to stay here, want to have kids here, want to move here, all for the good. And so you're doing that, and I really commend you all for grabbing onto that and making it happen. So it is good that you stop on a day like today and say this is yet another turning point in that process. I will add too, just to echo what Mr. Shorey just said, which is that we truly do applaud the opportunity to incorporate your community in these types of projects, particularly with the ice arena. It's really what put us over the edge, knowing that the Academy would incorporate activities that one might not necessarily think would happen in an ice arena. And we never envisioned, for instance, that vaccines would be administered, and let's hope never again, but to have that facility there to do something like that really is for the good of all, and we're pleased to play a part of that. So congratulations to you all. Thanks for the chance to be here. Thank you, Mr. Robinson, and we'll look forward to the progress as it continues, and congratulations. Thanks.
Foxcroft Academy has not had a capital campaign in 20 years. It was the lead gift that initiated the study to see if it was possible to raise the necessary funds for the field house. With the help of CCS, it was determined with hard work the funds could be raised, and so the Building on Tradition was launched. A planning committee was formed to oversee the campaign, start the process to raise the funds. Not only did they help with planning, but they also assisted with asking, reviewed campaign material, and were tremendous role models, sharing their generosity. I'd like to thank Jane Hibbert-Merrill, Hillary Stanky Caruso, class of '96, Donna Hathaway, class of '66, Chris Garral, class of '65, Dick Swett, and Jesse Klein, class of '80, who served on the committee. And I'd like to introduce to you the chair of the planning committee and also a Foxcroft Academy trustee, Tom LIZOTTE, who would like to say a few words. Mr. LIZOTTE.
I will say right up front that I am not an FA graduate, something that my wife dumps on me for on a daily basis, really, because she graduated in 1970. I took a stroll down memory lane this morning, preparing to embark, just looking back at all the papers that I have piled up in my office related to this project, and it brought back some amazing memories. When I joined the Board of Trustees in 2008, as Mr. Shorey said, it had been almost a decade since we completed the previous capital campaign. They were already very apparent that we had some rather obvious facility needs. Still, we had a very active student body that does tons of stuff, and trying to do all of that in a basketball gymnasium designed in 1961 just didn't work. It was impossible to schedule the activities there. So we began looking at solutions to that. We came up with the idea of a capital campaign in 2016, and then it was a matter of developing, well, what is the priority for the capital campaign? We focused on a multi-use field house that would be available, a large enclosed space for numerous activities, and would also be open to the community for wellness activities. The design committee formed in 2017. We chose CCS fundraising consultants to do a feasibility study. That study was delivered to us 3 years ago today. So in the 3 years, we've had to absorb the lessons of the study, design all the campaign materials, see who our donors were, approach the donors, raise the money, and start digging in the ground. And that's happened in a really short period. The feasibility study provided the level of confidence that the Board of Trustees needed to begin this process. Of course, our confidence level also jumped into the stratosphere thanks to the LIBRA Foundation. In Greek drama, there's something called the Dux ex machina. That's where events are changed by the gods coming down and doing unexpected things. Well, having money that these guys came up with and devoted to this project was worthy of a Greek drama. Right, Jerry, thank you for that. It was then up to the trustees themselves to commit to this project. They did so unanimously. And also I'm proud to say that the trustees have donated 100%. Every single member of the board has given money to this program. Over 25% of all the funds raised has just come from that small group of the board of trustees, and amounts to over $717,000 just from the board of trustees. Now, once you get deeply into the weeds of fundraising, there's a very simple rule. No one will give you money unless you ask for the money. The other simple rule is very few people like putting themselves out there to ask for the money, because you run the role of getting rejected by people. Well, Arnold said he's used to rejection. Stacy does love him, but apparently he was very resistible to other people throughout his life. But he got through that, and he became a stellar fundraiser as our head of school, ably supported by Peter Ingraham. And Peter, you are somewhere around here. Over here. Oh, there. Peter. As our major gifts officer, they did the heavy lifting of going into people's houses and asking for contributions. Now, the other rule of fundraising, besides you have to ask for the money, is that donors only give to projects they believe in and where the need and the benefit is clear. So Arnold and Peter did a very good job explaining the need, explaining what the final facility would look like, and then the money came in. And it really was astounding at what level, thanks to lead donors that you'll be hearing more about later in today's show. It's clear to me that the more than 200 donors who have given to this project believe in Foxcroft Academy, our students, and in the leadership provided by our head of school. As we look at FA's bicentennial year coming up in 2023, there's much to be proud of in the first 200 years of this school's history. But we also can say with total confidence that our future appears equally bright and is filled with promise. Thank you.
Yes, nobody believed that Stacy said yes to marry me. Over the last 3 years, I kind of want to reinforce what Tom said. We've been working to raise the necessary funds to make the field house a reality, led by many very generous people and businesses, including the Board of Trustees. And for a successful campaign, you need an engaged board who's willing to serve as a role model. The Foxcroft Academy Board of Trustees rose to the challenge and has accounted for 28% of the funds to date. This was done under the leadership of Dr. Richard SWETT, who's been the board president for the past 6 years and a very generous community member himself. I'd like to ask Dr. SWETT to come forward and say a few words. Dr. SWETT.
Thank you, Arnold. And good afternoon, friends and honored guests. I'm here to represent the 19 members of the Foxcroft Academy Board of Trustees, people who have been working behind the scenes for, as you've heard, the past at least 3 years to bring this project to fruition. Several years ago, when the board and administration discussed what direction we should choose to improve our facilities, we surveyed many persons in the community to get their opinion about what the community really needed and could really best use. There obviously were different opinions, but an all-weather, multi-purpose field house was the most popular choice. Several years later, after lots of planning and more than 200 generous donors, that is what we are building. The field house will not only benefit Foxcroft Academy students, but also students from schools in the surrounding communities and citizens of all ages. We also believe that it will stimulate economic development, drawing people from other areas to tournaments and sports camps and other events, and these people will utilize our local businesses and lodging facilities, thereby spreading the influence far further than just a local building where sports take place. So, the Foxcroft Academy Board thanks all of our supporters and hopes that you will watch with joy and with pride as this beautiful facility rises. Once again.
So the most famous Foxcroft Academy board level committee is the Buildings and Grounds, with a longtime board member serving as B&G chair, John Wentworth. And I'm not suggesting that he's 198 years old, but from the start, B&G was engaged in researching the project, which involved many road trips, working closely with our favorite architect, Jason Merriam, interviewing potential construction managers, and making recommendations to the entire board. It was their call to move from a gym addition to a field house, because if artificial turf was to be used, then the facility should be large enough to fully take advantage. It was through a comprehensive vetting process that brought Sheraton Corporation to become our building partners, with the Sheraton team of Wes Jordan, Gil Tebow, Dan Wild, Jason Harding, and others. A highly regarded, well-experienced professional construction team is now overseeing the project. That includes at least 5 local businesses playing a significant role. The Jim Robinson House will not only fill this whole field, with the partnership with UGE and Tyler Atkins, class of 03, it will have one of the largest roof solar panel systems in the state of Maine, providing power for Foxcroft Academy and Setamocha. And Mrs. Shorey, you're welcome. I will pay for that. Our work is not done, as the pandemic has caused a great spike in construction costs. And we still need to continue to raise funds until the ribbon cutting ceremony in August of 2022. Because we continue to strive to name, continue to strive to name the field after one of Foxcroft Academy's most respected individuals, coach and educator, Gene Philpott. I also want to give out a shout out to the Superintendent of Buildings and Grounds, Tom Nason, Peter Ingraham, Director of Advancement, Kathy Hall, Director of Alumni Affairs, and the FAA administrative team, and thank them for all their hard work, even though we're not done. At the ribbon cutting ceremony, we'll celebrate the many named portions of the project and all the donors who made this possible, many of whom are here today. It will also be the official start of the Foxcroft Academy's bicentennial celebration. I would like to mention some of our top donors. First National Financial Services, Kelly Keenan, Joe Caruso, Hillary Sankey Caruso, Peter and Kelly Dennis, Chris and Bruce Garal, Dr. Richard and Carolyn Swett. And I want to especially thank 3 exceptional community leaders who continually give and give to the community. The first 2 are Charlie Merrill, class of 1960, and Jane Hibbard Merrill, current honorary trustee and former trustee, supporting the naming of the lobby in the track, ensuring that we met our original goal. And Jim Robinson, class of 59, who, if you've not heard, has provided the project with a naming gift, and thus the Jim Robinson Fieldhouse. Along with over 200 donors, our community and students of Foxcroft Academy will be forever grateful. We will now have several photo ops, so please do not leave until all the pictures are taken. Toby will call out the groups. Please enjoy refreshments, and forever ride on ponies. Thank you very much.